franchise as well. Well, the major significant change, of course, was that we had to shut down. In fact, we could have still operated under the government guidelines, but what we found was at the very beginning of this pandemic, a lot of customers were cancelling because they weren't feeling comfortable. A lot of the staff were feeling very uncomfortable, and so Molly Maid as a whole took the view that we should close business on the 23rd of March. As the government guidelines changed and as we moved forward, we realised that actually then we could reopen, and we reopened on the 18th of May. So the biggest challenge to start with was actually shutting that business down and getting my head around the fact that the business I'd built up over all those years may never get off the ground again. So that was the first biggest one. The second biggest one then was actually restarting it. And it's very easy to shut something down. You ring everybody up and tell them you're cancelling. But to start it all up again was quite a big task. And one of those challenges, of course, was making the customers feel confident, reassuring the staff that what we were doing was the right thing, and then actually scheduling everything in so everybody was happy and everybody knew what was going on, and it ran like clockwork, which, of course, it always does. I often said during this pandemic that they should run for government because they were far clearer about guidelines than the government ever were. And what they were able to do during the lockdown period was to come up with a series of new procedures for us, which we call our home safe measures. And so we're operating within those guidelines now. And those guidelines, of course, are covering all the areas of government legislation and government recommendations for COVID. So the girls were able, when they came back, were able to have the information in front of them that we were operating to, and I was able to provide that to all our customers as well as reassurance. So obviously we're doing the usual things with social distancing, but what the girls are doing now, I contact them every morning to find out if they've got any symptoms. They contact their customers 15 minutes before arrival to find out if they have any symptoms. We've got a zero tolerance policy. I've had several of the girls tested so far. They've all come back negative, thankfully. They will arrive at the customer's property, knock on the door, stand back 2 metres, walk into the property once the customer has decided which room they're going to be in. We're asking customers not to be in the same room as the girls when they're cleaning, and if that's not possible, then they stay 2 metres apart. The girls will come in, wash their hands, put fresh gloves on. They will dispose of those gloves when they leave. We're not wearing masks